bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Please continue to pray for me, and you can pray to the God of dislikes. So please sing along with me, gesture at your screen, and smash the dislike button. I am continuing to go through a lot of drama in my life, and it is deeply affecting me. Today, even one of my favorite students in the classroom commented that I looked off, and I didn't tell him exactly what I was going through, but I did tell him that I had personal matters, and he actually went on to tell a couple of his classmates, and they all emailed me saying they were wishing me well. I didn't tell them what personal problems I was going through, and to their credit, none of them asked. So we have very uh, good students here. In the past, I haven't always done so well when I've told people I've had personal problems. Especially, I used to work at a tutoring center, and some of these kids can be very dramatic about some of that stuff. So I'm very pleased it turned out okay this time around. But I need you guys to please continue praying for me by leaving a dislike. I'm working on some Mondrian squares to take my mind off of what's been going on as of late. I hate to even say it on the camera anymore because it's best that people only know it as personal problems. I tend to get a lot more sympathy that way. And let's just say that hopefully this season will end in my life and I'll go on to a better place where I'll be done with this chapter. Um, but it's a roller coaster ride, and I've been wanting to get off the roller coaster now, but I need to finish it. Uh, I might, I will take a break from that roller coaster this week, but it's still an ongoing situation. Okay, I gotta measure 1 inch here. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Okay, this like sure. But here it is like sure. But here it is like sure. The Peter dislike show. Please continue praying for me by disliking the video. Peter Dislike Show. Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. 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 Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. 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 Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. The Peter Dislike Show. You know, I made a mistake the other day. I was posting something on Facebook, and I didn't realize Facebook didn't have a dislike button. I said, "Why don't you support by disliking or something?" You know, I don't know what happened to my camera. This is a very old computer, and my new computer's in the repair shop right now. And believe it or not, this is the very computer that I used to learn that COVID-19 had broken out. So that's how old it is. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Peter Dislike Show. I wonder if it's this thing up here. That look better. Yeah, unfortunately, I think what happened was that at one point my screen got detached from the frame, and now part of the frame is covering up part of the camera. I'll have to fix that later. Bum, 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Peter Dislike. Anyway, so my mental health is seriously fucked up. I haven't been eating right, and I have difficulty with focus. Even my students are wondering what's. They thought I was using stuff. Actually, one of my best students, he was actually showing concern for me. He asked me if I was using, and I explained that it's not stuff that I'm using, but it's personal life dramas. And I left it at that without explaining exactly what the drama was, because I wasn't sure if he would judge the situation or give unsolicited advice about it. Because I had another student who became very judgmental about it, and I didn't want to repeat that story again. Actually, my other student, he was funny about it. He ended up not being so judgmental anymore toward the end of it, and in fact, he I don't want to go into the details anymore because I don't want to talk about what the drama is. But he later on he helped with some of that stuff, so it's good. But my student thought I was using, and I said, yeah, but not a physical substance. And I think to his credit, he didn't ask what it was all about, and I think he knows, but he wanted to show some respect, so that's good. Can we see that? It's kind of hard to see. So why don't you guys continue to hit the dislike button? I need 1 million dislikes. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. But I want to be eating better again. I want to be doing intermittent fasting again. I used to do intermittent fasting almost every day, and lately I've been so consumed with this other goal in my life that fasting has gone out the window, unfortunately. And uh, thank you for not leaving likes on this video because I really need a good, strong prayer, and I don't want to be seeing any likes. Uh, I can't even get my frame to fit correctly. That's how stressed out I am. Peter Dislike Show. Peter is like, shut. What should I make next? I'm just drawing so many blanks lately because I am so messed up. I really need to be doing the intermittent fasting again. I really do. Uh, Earlier today, I shot a video about an anniversary of mine. Five years ago today, I used to fast quite a bit actually. Unfortunately, all of that has kind of all of my good habits I developed in many years have all disappeared because of this one. I've been consumed with this one thing. Let's see, square, tightly packed squares. Well, uh, let's do a small one because I can't really focus anymore. Let's do 5 squares. All right, let's do that. So let's see. It's 5 by. No, does that even fit on here? 12 by 5. Yeah, that will fit. 4 by 4. But I'm having such a hard time with any sort of uh, stimulation nowadays. Earlier today, I almost got into a fight. What had happened was we had a student who's in a wheelchair, and I kind of got in his way. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, and he got upset about that. And then he accused me of laughing at him. And I told him, since he wouldn't give it up, I told him I wasn't, he wouldn't give it up. And I said, what a funny guy. and he got really upset and shouted out of the top of his lungs. And I didn't mean that, but I'm just too bogged down with. And I even told him, before I shouted the "what a funny guy," I told him, I'm going through a lot, so could you please just give me a break? I'm sorry. And he says he's going through a lot too. That was his response to that. So he could be. So I'm not going to comment on that, but that's that's just I'm just out of bandwidth at the moment. I have never been so out of bandwidth in my life. This is a first for me. I'm just I'm just trying to remember the prize at the end of the roller coaster ride, right? And I keep my eyes on that so that I don't get too bogged down. But I asked my viewers, I got 4 viewers right now. I asked that all of you guys sing Peter Dis. I won't be able to hear you, but please sing Peter Dislike. It brings me a lot of good fortunes when you do that. Here, sing it with me. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. How about you guys type into the chat bum 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 Peter Dislike and type the dislike finger a few times. Just bring me some good luck. Uh, so feel free to leave some comments. Has anybody ever embarked in something that had a roller coaster ride, but it had a prize at the end? I hate to even talk about what I'm doing because people are going to judge or comment or do something weird. So feel free. What's the biggest challenge that you have to push through, but the prize was worth it at the end? Please leave a comment. I don't know. My art projects are kind of like that, but normally they don't destroy me like this other thing that I'm doing, right? Although right now I'm missing out on my other kind of art because of our stupid tariffs, right? But even that isn't destroying me nearly as much, right? My uh, but what else am I involved in? The art projects that earlier this week, Trump was talking about a potential for a government shutdown, and I kind of got excited about that because I hope to go to. Last time we shut down government, we didn't shut the national parks, and that was fun going there without anybody kicking us out in the middle of the night. Right, I went stargazing last time. That was fun. I live very close to Yosemite. I hope to go back there again. Uh, what else is going on? I've been watching Peter Schiff, and he doesn't sing "Bum Bum Bum Bum" anymore. I don't know if he he doesn't approve of me stealing it or something. Like ever since I stole his theme, he changed it, and so now he has his. I'm gonna steal his new opening theme as well. I'm just gonna steal every theme of his, until he changes it over and over and over. See what happens. Uh, but the new theme is kind of hard to just sing like that. Um, but anyway, I am lost and confused and yesterday I had a scary situation, and I thought to myself, you know what? I wouldn't mind if something happened to me right now. I was so lost and confused. I accidentally drove on. We have these tracks for the light rail, and I made a turn onto the road that was only for light rail, and I'm like, oh my god! And I fortunately I realized my mistake before I hit a train. But Peter, would you invest in your own crypto? You know, I've thought about creating a cryptocurrency. Uh, what had happened was I was running a simulation that I estimated would take 30,000 machine years to run, and I thought I could distribute that by creating a cryptocurrency that would make other people's computers run my simulation for me. But I was working on a math problem called Ramsey theory, and I was looking for this one graph, and I estimated that the algorithm that I wrote would take 30,000 years to come up with it. And so at the time I was working on my PhD, we had a really nice office just for myself. It was a converted dark room, and I envisioned the computer in there running for 30,000 years until the next ice age, still churning away at the result. And so powered by a nuclear RTG, right? I imagined collecting a bunch of radium watches and getting the paint off of there. And radium has a half-life of 2,000 years, right? I might have to optimize the program a little bit so that it doesn't take 30,000. If it took 4,000 years, maybe you could use a bunch of radium watches to power that, right? So, anyways, I'm trying to remember. You know, in stock investing, we often say that the only people who get hurt on a roller coaster are the ones who jump off. Right now, I have to remember that for this other roller coaster ride that I'm riding, right, to not jump off, right. Uh, but feel free to leave a comment if you've ever ridden an emotional roller coaster for anything in your life. Please leave a comment because I need to see it for my own sake. And please continue to sing with me. Let's sing it together again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. But I desperately need to get back on my other health-related goals, especially the binge eating and the no fap. I've been fapping way too much as of late, unfortunately, and also my caffeine intake. And what else? And also, just having I've been making a lot of art lately, but it's not positive. I'm doing it to escape all the other dramas in my life, unfortunately. Bum, 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 bum. Peter. One of my fans had created a video compilation of all of my Peter Bum 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 Bums, and he said he was going to make another one, but then I never saw it uploaded. I hope he will come back at some point. Yeah, it's not going to show on there for some reason. Oh my god, my screen's so dirty. Like I said, this is the very computer I used to learn that COVID-19 had broken out. Actually, strike that. I learned with this computer that Donald Trump had been impeached the first time, not the second time, the first time. And so I hope to see him impeached again because that was fun to watch. I don't hate him or anything, but that was fun to watch when it was going on. It took my mind off of other stuff that was going on in my life. And so, hey, whoever left the like, would you please change it to a dislike? Um, Likes bring me a lot of bad luck. So whoever left a like, please change it to a dislike. Please. Likes bring me a lot of bad luck. So I'm asking you to please change your like to a dislike. I'm counting down from 10. If you don't change your like to a dislike, I'm ending the stream. 10, 9. Hey, two of them now. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, somebody left one like. Will you please change that like to a dislike? I'm giving you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, the dislikes bring me a lot of good luck. So please only leave dislikes. And while we're at it, sing with me. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Hey. By the way, if anybody has an idea of a better symbol for asking people to change likes to dislikes, let me know. But unfortunately, the good news is that I'm financially a lot better off now than I was even a year ago today. And that's not even counting what happened to the tariffs. But even without that, I'm doing a lot better. And, I can take care of uh, just keeping myself well. So otherwise, it could have been a whole lot. If I were dealing with this last year or 2 years, last year was okay, 2 years ago, before I had this kind of cushion that I do nowadays, it could have been a lot worse. Let's just put it that way. Hey. 2 nights ago, I almost got myself kicked out of a Whole Foods market. I love to eat in the dining halls in there, but I almost got kicked out of the Whole Foods. What had happened was that I was stressed out already, and as if the stress of my current life events weren't enough, I went onto a website and I saw there's a surplus store selling bismuth ammunition, like defective bismuth ammunition, basically for recycling, and they hadn't updated their price yet, given the recent events. And so I got carried away. My credit card wasn't working. I was calling them to make sure I could get it through, and I got carried away. And by the time I finished that, I was completely mentally drained. And this guy at the dining area at the Whole Foods wanted to sit next to me, and I had no capacity to talk to him, and I just got very angry at him. And so I told him I was going through a lot, and he said that everybody goes through stuff. That's no excuse for screaming at, and he doesn't know what I'm going through. I don't know what he's going through either. So, um, and I'm just drained. My mental capacity is completely overfilled. It's kind of like uh, if you've ever driven your car below empty on the gas tank, right? Or you've ever tried to use your phone below zero on the battery, right? That's how I feel. Uh, and unfortunately, hey, three of you guys, please. Unfortunately, I, I'm just completely mentally drained. And that's why I've been laughing inappropriately. I don't know if I laughed at the guy in the wheelchair today. I certainly didn't mean to. But you know what? 2 months ago, I laughed at my grandmother's funeral. I'm just drained. I'm just drained. And so, unfortunately, the fact that I'm mentally drained doesn't help me with the life goal that I'm going for, right? And and I'm kind of in a downward spiral in that regard, too. I'm so glad I have some money in my pocket, and because otherwise, this whole chapter in my life could have been a lot darker. Right. Uh, so yesterday, you guys saw me eating at the Five Guys, right? 2 years ago, I didn't always have the luxury of doing that when I was stressed out, right? I'm a little bit bored, so how about do this? I'm gonna sing Peter like, and when I do that, you guys all change your dislikes to likes, and then I'll sing Peter dislike, and then you change it back to a dislike, just to see the numbers go up and down. All right, let's do that. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I'm gonna sing Peter dislike, and we're all gonna change it back. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Come on, change it back. I don't know if there's a delay or something. There's a little bit of a delay, it looks like. Unfortunately, information can only travel at the speed of light, right? So if I got aliens viewing this on Jupiter, it might take a few hours before they get the memo to go from dislikes to likes back to dislikes, right? If NASA is watching this through their Juno space probe, right, or if uh, uh, I think Trains sang a song about drops of Jupiter, right? If whatever aliens are up there or watching, it might take a few hours before the dislikes start showing up, right? I had a dream about this one time, actually. Actually, I don't want to talk about my dream now because that one is related to my life goal, and I don't want to jinx anything there. But I had a dream about interacting with somebody from a distant planet. Let's put it that way. And then it kind of happened in a way. So, anyways, can you please change your likes to it? Let's sing it again and change the likes to dislikes. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Come on. I'm giving you a countdown. I'm shutting off the stream if you don't change your likes to a dislike. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Come on. 2, 1. I'm shutting down the stream.